Happy Monday. It's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Well, I had been reading quite a while back in a book that was written by Irma Bombeck, which I just absolutely loved to read in the 70s. I thought she was just the funniest author ever. But I didn't get a lot of response, so I decided to go ahead and quit reading it for the time. But then someone sent me a message. And she said that back in the 70s, her mom used to read this to her, and it meant a lot to her. And at this time, she's not able to read due to some health issues. So I'm going to start it again. I hope you enjoy it. So this is Irma Bombeck. If life is a bowl of cherries, what am I doing in the pits? Chapter 3. Who killed apple pie? Who killed apple pie? It's a frightening feeling to wake up one morning and discover that while you were asleep, you went out of style. That's what happened to millions of housewives who one day looked in the mirrors and said, I do not feel fulfilled putting toilet seats down all day. Women were sick of pushing buttons. Besides, the buttons were pushing back. There was a housewife in Michigan who was vacuuming her carpet one morning and leaned over to pick an object up off the floor. Her hair was pulled into the machine by the underside brush roller, causing her to fall on top of the vacuum and sustain electrical shock to the left side of her head. They no longer bought the theory advanced by the British Medical Association that doing housework was the secret to female longevity and that all the exercise would prolong life. As I went on my knees one afternoon, hoisting the bunk beds on my back and trying to put the slats back into the grooves, my husband asked, "What are you doing down there?" "Prolonging my life," I said dryly. "Those things fall out all the time," he said. "Why don't you get some slats that are longer?" "They were longer when we got them," I said. "Are you going to start that business about inanimate things becoming human? You're going bananas being cooped up in this house. You should get out more often. After all this stuff fixed up around here, why don't you do something you've always wanted to do?" I sat back on my knees and reflected. What I always wanted to do was run away from home. You all know that feeling. You diet for 2 weeks, gain 3 pounds. You break your bottom to get to the white sale only to discover that all they have left are double top sheets, single contour bottoms, and king pillowcases. Your best friend, whom you've always trusted, calls and tells you she just found out how to bake bread. Some wise guy just wrote "help" in the dust on the draperies. You pick up the movie magazine in the supermarket with the headlines reading, "Jackie Onassis. Spending habits suggest mental disorder," and realizing you've had that same disorder for years. The cheerleader on your high school cheer squad just became a grandmother. The supermarket just continued your silverware pattern, and you spent 40 minutes ironing a linen dress that doesn't even fit you anymore. You drive to the drive-in bank, and the car just ahead of you gets a flat. You see your neighbor going to the office and yell, "I hope you find eraser droppings in your IBM Selectric," and you can't take it anymore. Then one day in a leading magazine, I saw a story called Today's Woman on the Go. At the top of the article was a picture of a well-stacked blonde at a construction site with a group of men around her while she read blueprints to them. I noted her shoes were coordinated with her Gucci yellow hard hat. The second picture showed her in a pair of flowing pajamas, standing over the stove, stirring her filet mignon helper, recipe page 36, while her husband tossed the salad and her children lovingly set the table. It made me want to spit up. I want to be on the go. I was half gone already. Imagine every morning going off to a carpet land, to fresh bread for lunch, to a phone that wasn't sticky with grape jelly, to perfume behind each knee that spelled madness to the stock boys. And I said to myself, there, but for the grace of a babysitter I go. Once I made up my mind, I interviewed sitters for 6 months. It's depressing when you realize no one wants to be paid for what you've been doing for nothing all these years. I talked with one who could only work until the children came home from school. Another believed in naps until age 35. And there was one who worked for one day and quit saying, Do you actually expect me to work in the house while the water jug looks like snow falling on a paperweight? Another woman I was to discover had the same problem. A friend of mine who's a registered nurse said in a shattering experience she found a gem who was willing to sit with her children if she left explicit instructions. The first day she left the following note. Greg gets 1 teaspoon of pink medicine in the refrigerator at 8 a.m. and before lunch. He has impetigo, so wash your hands good with soap and water and don't let him use anyone else's glass. Paula gets 1 teaspoon of orange medicine in a brown bottle at 8 a.m. and at lunch. There's plenty of lunch meat, peanut butter, etc. for lunch. Paula has to be taken to the potty every 2 or 3 hours. There's a potty seat upstairs and a small chair in the rec room. Don't let dog in the chewing gum. He craves it, but has to be taken to the vet to remove it. He gets 1 pill a day, not for birth control, for slight infection. Get Frank, who is in and out all day, to hold him so he will not bite. Take messages. Don't use the toilet in the utility room. It bubbles. If you have questions, call me. Tell them you are one of the nurses if they ask. When she arrived home, the door was marked with lamb's blood, and there was a large quarantine sign tacked on it. The sitter had fled. You only have to work once in your life to know that today's woman on the go is pure fiction. Maybe they got the captions under the picture switched. Maybe she wore the long flowing pajamas at work and the hard hat at home. Heaven knows, home is hard hat area. Where were the pictures showing her racing around the kitchen in a pair of bedroom slippers, trying to quick thaw a chop under her armpit and yelling like a shrew, "All right, you guys, I know you're in this house. I can hear your stomachs growling." According to the article, all you needed was a worksheet with everyone in the family having his or her own responsibilities, leaving mother time not only to hold down a full-time job, but to paint, sew her own coat, ride horses, and run for U.S. Senate. It wasn't like that at all. I called home one evening and said, "Let me speak to your father." "He's at the dentist," said my son. "He chipped his tooth this morning on the frozen bread." So who was on the worksheet to defrost the bread? I was, but I forgot the key, got locked out, and stayed all night with Mike. The milkman got locked out too. There are 12 half-gallons of milk in the garage. Where's your sister? I made her bed with her in it. She's not speaking. There are wet clothes in the washer, and they're covered with a brown rash. We're defrosting the spare ribs under your hairdryer. Guess who forgot to put the dog out when he came home? When are you coming home? I'll be home tomorrow. Do you miss me? No, but according to the worksheet, you're on for dishes. Sharing responsibility is what the entire movement to free women is all about. If women are ever to be appreciated, a husband should drive a carpool just once. Transporting children is my husband's 26th favorite thing. It comes somewhere between eating lunch in a tea room and dropping a bowling ball on his foot. Remember, I warned him before his first attempt, they are small children, not mail sacks. That means you have to bring the car to a complete stop and open the door for them. Don't shout, and be sure to give all 6 of them their own window. Good luck. An hour and a half later, as he staggered through the door, I said, "So what took you so long?" To begin with, old Paste Breath didn't want to get into the car. He said his mother didn't want him to ride with strangers. Then the name tag that was pinned to the what's-her-name's dress fell off, and she didn't know who she was. Debbie cried for 3 blocks because she left her bionic woman lunchbox on the swings. Cecil, I guess that's his name, the one who sits there and rebuttons his sweater all the time trying to make it come out even, that's Cecil. He told me he lived at the Dairy Queen. So what took you so long? Michael is the one who took me so long. He said he didn't know where he lived. So, to make friends, I gave him a taffy sucker. I must have driven around in circles for 30 minutes before he said, "That's my house." "Michael," I said, "we've passed this house 20 to 30 times. Why didn't you say something?" "Because," he said, "I'm not allowed to talk with food in my mouth." There are some who say giving children responsibility makes them grow. There are others who contend it increases your insurance rates. Whatever, there are some ground rules that must prevail while a mother is employed outside the home. First, when to bug and when not to bug. In other words, when do you call mom on the phone at work? Emergencies do arise. There's no doubt about that, but some guidelines must be established at the top of the page. Before a child calls his mother at work, he must ask himself, number 1, will mom drop dead when she hears this? Number 2, can she find a plumber after 5? Number 3, will she carry out her threat to move to another city and change her name? If the answers are yes, no, yes, the child might try putting the incident in the proper perspective. For example, if there is blood to report, consider these questions. Is it his? His brother's? Is there a lot? A little? On the sofa that is not Scotch-guarded? Or the $80 one that they're still making payments on? Will the bleeding stop? Was it an accident? A loose baby tooth? Can he shut up about it and pass it off as an insect bite? Another example, when every other kid in the neighborhood decides your house would be a neat place to play because there's no adult at home, he should ask himself, do I want to spend my entire puberty locked in my room with no food and no television? Do I need the friendship of a boy who throws ice cubes at a bird? Will Mom notice we made confetti in her blender? Other situations to define about. When a group of children decide to wash the cat and put him in the dryer and want to know what setting to use, call. When he and his older brother are hitting and slapping over the last soft drink and he doesn't want a high-level decision on who gets it, don't call. When a couple of men in a pickup tell him his mom is having the TV slip covered, the silverware stored, her jewelry cleaned, and his 10-speed bike oiled, call, and call fast. When his sister chases him around the house with the garden hose and the furniture is turning a funny-looking white, run. When he is bored and has nothing to do and just wants to talk, call his father. During the summer months, when children are too old for a sitter and too young for sense, I find that a primer for imaginative children is a must. Just set down what you expect of them. And it continues. Primer for imaginative children. This is a house. Vehicles are not permitted in the house. Occupancy of this house by more than 200 people is dangerous and unlawful. Violators will be prosecuted. There's a dog in this house. His name is Spot. Spot likes to run and play and chase sticks. He also likes to relieve himself with some regularity. Watch Spots for telltale signs of urgency, such as jumping higher than the ceiling, gnawing on the doorknob, or tunneling under the door. It's fun to eat. See the milk? See the butter? See the lunch meat? They cannot run. They cannot walk. They have no legs. They must be picked up and returned to the refrigerator, or they will turn green. Green is not a happy color. Hear the phone ring? That ring means someone wants to talk to you. Ring, ring, ring. When the phone rings, pick it up and speak directly into it. Say, hello. Say goodbye. Say anything. A bedroom is a special place. Find your bed each day. Try. Sometimes you cannot see your bed because it is covered with clutter. This is not healthy. A cluttered room is a messy room. Fish die in a messy room. Mothers cannot breathe in a messy room. A messy room is unfit for humans. Many people in this house are human. A bathroom is your friend. It is there when you need it. Lids do not like to be standing all the time. They get tired. Towels do not like to be on the floor. They cannot see anything. Ugh! Soap does not like to lie in a drain and melt. Boo-hoo! See Mommy come home? See Daddy come home? They are walking on their knees. Be kind to Mommy and Daddy. Look, Mommy, Bruce is bloody. I'm telling Debbie I didn't do it. Daddy, do you want to make Mommy crazy? Do you want to make Daddy rupture his neck vein? Then shape up, up, up. The controversy of whether to work outside the house or not work outside the house goes on. Each woman, in her own ways, assesses what her needs are and how they can best be met. It must be pointed out that the office procedure also has shortcomings. Nothing is perfect. For example, one office had the following sick leave policy: sicknesses, no excuse. We will not accept your doctor's statement as proof, as we believe if you are able to go to the doctor, you are able to come to work. Death, other than your own. This is no excuse. There's nothing you can do for them, and we are sure that someone else in a lesser position can attend to the arrangements. However, if the funeral can be arranged in the late afternoon, we'll be glad to let you off 1 hour early, provided your share of the work is ahead enough to keep the job going in your absence. Death, your own. This is acceptable as an excuse provided a 2-week notice is given in order to break in a new person for your job. If 2 weeks' notice is not possible, call in before 8 so the sub may be provided, and this must be verified by a doctor's signature and your own. Both signatures must be present or the time will be deducted from your annual sick leave. Leave of absence for an operation. We are no longer allowing this practice. We wish to discourage any thought you may have about needing an operation. We believe that as long as you are employed here, you will need all of whatever you have, and you should not have anything removed. We hired you as you are, and to have anything removed would certainly make you less of what we bargained for. Leave of absence, the restroom. Too much time is being spent in our restrooms. Our time study man has asserted that 3 minutes, 15 seconds constitutes a generous break. In the future, we will follow the practice of going to the restroom in alphabetical order. Those with names beginning with A will go from 8 to 8:05, 15 seconds. Those with F from 8:03, 15 seconds, 8:06, 30 seconds, etc. If you miss your turn, you must wait until the day when your turn comes again. As I, on my knees one afternoon at the office, trying to lift a filing cabinet over a piece of carpet, asked my boss, "What are you doing down there?" "Prolonging my life. I just read a survey where it said women who work outside the house live a richer, fuller, longer life." "You look tired to me," he said. "Why don't you get out of the office for a while? Go home, bake a little bread, wax the floors, visit your children." Between keeping house and working, I'm probably going to live to be 100. Or maybe it will just seem that long. Okay, that's the end of that chapter. I hope you enjoyed it. It's Maria from Still Dreaming Homestead. Leave me a little comment on this story if you can. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I want to pray blessings on you and yours, in your house, out of your house, in the day and in the night. Whatever you do, keep dreaming. Bye-bye.